Welcome back. This is the fourth and final part of the videos, replacing our canceled session today because of the snowstorm. I'll try to get you through this quickly and on your way so you're ready to get started on the course. There's some admin issues that I need to make you aware of. First of all, office hours are by sign up only via Canvas and Google Appointments. I am a part-time instructor at Granger. I am not in Granger every single day. And so if there is something that requires my direct attention, whether it's a course-related issue or something else, please go into Canvas. There's a link in Module A. It will take you to Google Calendar appointment sign up and select a slot, and I will look forward to meeting you at my office. The TA for the course is Trent Wild. His info is in Canvas. Trent is a master's student in accounting, and he is awesome, and I'm hopeful that you'll get to see his smiling face next week and perhaps introduce yourself. And Trent and I will work very hard to keep the course running smoothly and on track to get assignments graded quickly and returned to you so that you can keep track of how you're doing. Another reminder, late submissions are subject to a 20% penalty per day. That is a fully automated system in Canvas. I have no control over that. And it kicks in the minute after the deadline that's shown in Canvas. So if the Canvas shows that an assignment is due at 11:59 on Friday, then 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, your assignment will be automatically penalized 20%. So all the deadlines are shown in Canvas. Please make sure you know when assignments are due and get them submitted on time. Generally speaking, assignments will close 1 week after the due date and cannot be submitted after that. So keep track of what's going on. Generally speaking, the session slide decks will be available at the end of each class session or immediately after the class session. I encourage you to take a look at them and review. That'll be a great way to keep up on what you've been learning and preparing for the 2 exams in the course. There's a series of student support and request documents in Module C in Canvas. If you go through the course with no issues or problems, you probably won't even need to open Module C. But if something comes up, you need accommodations, you need some kind of absence excuses, please take a look in there as there's documents that will need to be filled out in order to get to get those accommodations. That includes the McBurney visa accommodations, which I mentioned in the previous recording. So please, if you do have a McBurney visa, make sure you check on that as well. Generally speaking, if you have a question in the course, your best resource is a peer or a colleague. There's 180 of you, and your knowledge is probably much broader and more capable than mine. So if something comes up, ask a colleague in class. Feel free to ask a question in class. I'll do my best to answer them if I can. Check Canvas, the syllabus, the schedule to see if there's anything useful. I provide an enormous course policy document that provides all sorts of other thoughts, including some ideas on what to do if you have group issues, such as you're not happy about working in a group, or you seem to have a colleague who's not performing. So take a look there. If all else fails, you're welcome to reach out to me or the TA. I'm pretty good on email. I try to respond to all emails within 24 hours, but I can't do that on evenings or weekends. There may be situations where you send me an email and my response is that I've gotten your email, but I can't respond immediately, and I'll get an answer to you by a certain time. If you send me an email and you haven't heard back in 48 hours, then that means there's a problem. And you're welcome to send me a follow-up email to try to figure out what happened. Broadly speaking, you can send me messages through Canvas, but the Canvas messaging system is not as reliable as just general email. My email address is easily accessible, but just as a reminder, it's bock2@wisc.edu, BOCK, the number 2 at wisc.edu. Finally, there's one Harvard Business School reading that you're required to purchase. The link to it through the package is in Canvas. It is, as I mentioned, a whole $4.25. It is a very useful resource about funding and financing for entrepreneurial ventures. You are required to purchase that as part of the reading for the course. You will need it for our finance section at the end of the semester, and it has topics that may be tested on the exam. Already mentioned the McBurney visa, but just a reminder, you do need to fill that out because we do potentially have to book a separate room for the exams. We need that by the deadline shown in Canvas. Couple of final notes. I don't want you to be an entrepreneur. You might think that that's a little odd, but that is not what we are here to do. This class and I, as your instructor, am not here to turn you into an entrepreneur. That is a totally personal decision that only you can make, and it isn't some decision you need to make right now. I'm hoping you will try out an entrepreneurial mindset, that you'll learn about entrepreneurship as one possible component of your career and your life. If you leave this class and say, wow, that was fantastic, I love the idea of entrepreneurship, I'm really looking forward to starting a venture one day, my response to that is, awesome, I am thrilled to hear it. And if you walk out of this class and say, wow, that was interesting, but I am never, ever going to be an entrepreneur, then my response is, awesome. I am so glad you learned that in the class and you didn't have to go and learn that in the real world, in a situation where perhaps you've already started a company or you've even raised money or you have people depending on you. This is an opportunity to try this out. And the only component of the course that's really dependent on how you perform as an entrepreneur is the T-shirt project. And even that, it's only one very small part. You're here to learn about entrepreneurship, to try it out, and to demonstrate that you've tried it out. And whatever conclusion you come to out of that, as far as I'm concerned, is absolutely fantastic. Here are my goals for you. Learn something about entrepreneurship. I don't know exactly what you'll learn. I'd love to tell you that I know precisely what you'll learn in the class, but I don't. So I hope you learn something about entrepreneurship and that you find at least some of it interesting. You'll try out some entrepreneurial activities. You'll go to an event, you'll do the T-shirt project, you'll listen to some entrepreneurs, and I think all of that will give you a much deeper sense of what entrepreneurship really is. You'll work in a group in an entrepreneurial context, which has high ambiguity, high potential, maybe high stress, and I do hope that you'll have some fun in the process as well. How do you get a jump start on this? One, get Top Hat. If you don't have it, get it, because you're going to need it. Number two, your responsibility form is due February 1st. Make sure you get that signed and submitted into Canvas. Start thinking about the T-shirt project. The self-sign-up is already enabled in Canvas. You can go ahead and start putting yourself into a group if you're ready. And then the next big thing to think about, you have an unbelievable opportunity. Matt Howard, who took this class at UW-Madison, and is the founder and CEO of Eat Street, which I'm sure most of you know, will be here in class, or not here, but in the classroom on Wednesday, January 30th. There's some readings that you should do in advance. This is a tremendous opportunity to hear firsthand from a UW student who's formed a high-growth venture. He's been listed as a top entrepreneur nationally. Bring some good questions. And just FYI, some students from this course have been hired by Eat Street as a follow-up to this process. So great opportunity to learn about it from someone just like yourself. So thank you for listening to these videos. My apologies again, that class was canceled, but I think in the long run, we're all better off. And I will look forward to meeting you next week. So again, this is Dr. Adam J. Bach. These have been videos covering the topics for our canceled first session in MHR 322. And I hope this has been helpful in getting you launched in the class. Stay warm, stay safe, and have a great weekend, and get started in preparation for getting this class launched next week.